Good morning, church. Happy Thursday. I just can't believe we are edging towards the end of April and that we've been doing this walk through the Bible together. I think today is 116. I just can't believe how it's been going. So, we have two passages I want to look at today, one in the life of David and another one of Jesus' encounters with the religious leaders. David is facing an incredibly difficult encounter today. And yesterday's reading, he went up to war with the Philistines. They wanted to go to the Mount Gilboa area, which is in northern Israel. So the Philistines basically traversed from the southern area of Israel up to the northern part where they were going to begin their war. And I imagine their idea was just to work their way down and wipe out the people. And they reject David, say, no, you guys can't come with us. It's hard to know what David and his men had in mind for going because we're not told what that looked like. But when they get back to Ziklag, they find it totally destroyed. The Amalekites had taken advantage of the fact that all the military men had gone, and so they captured all the women and children and they burned Ziklag. The men have reached their breaking point. You all know what that feels like. They've been on the run for years. A year and a half they've been outside their own country. They think they've basically established a situation for themselves that's tolerable. And then while they wait for David to do something, twice now he has declined the opportunity to forcibly take the kingship, and Saul's reign just seems to be going on. 40 years he reigned. And so when they get back, and at least their minimal comforts have been taken away from them, their wives, their children, and they're ready to kill David. He said, we've had enough. And they're ready to destroy him too. And it says he's in an extremely difficult position, is Scripture's words, because the troops were talking about stoning him, for they were all very bitter over the loss of their sons and daughters. But David found strength in the Lord his God. And he goes and inquires of God and asks him what to do. David is teaching us a valuable lesson now. We all in our life hit our breaking point. We all in our life hit those moments where we say, look, I am just done here and I don't want to go on anymore. And we want to rebel. We need to find strength in the Lord at those times. We need to turn to God and say, look, I can't do it anymore. You need to help me now, or it's not going to go. We're not going to make it. And really, I mean, the truth is that it's always that way. We're never supposed to be operating in our own strength, because in our weakness, that's when God can finally operate and do the work that He wants to do. But sometimes when God does His work in His way, it makes us angry. The Pharisees discovered that. Chapter 12, moving on from there, he entered their synagogue, that's Jesus. There he saw a man who had a shriveled hand. And in order to accuse him, they asked him, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? He replied to them, who among you, if he had a sheep that fell into a pit on the Sabbath, wouldn't take hold of it and lift it out? A person is worth far more than a sheep. So it is lawful to do what is good on the Sabbath. Then he told the man, stretch out your hand. So he stretched it out, and it was restored as good as the other. But the Pharisees went out and plotted against him how they might kill him. What an incredible reaction to a miracle, isn't it? They get so angry that he has presumably violated the Sabbath. They want to put him to death, even though a miracle of God has occurred before their very eyes. They do the same thing with Lazarus when Jesus raises him from the dead. They're so angry that they plot to kill both Jesus and Lazarus. We can't be like that. We all have a tendency in our heart when God operates in our lives in a way that defies our own comfort and our own expectations, when it just doesn't seem to be going well. We want to rebel and we want to cast our lot against the Lord because it would be easier, but we need to submit to His way and what He wants so that He can get the glory. And so, church, that's my encouragement today. If you're at a spot where you're at your breaking point, turn to God, seek Him in prayer, maybe even in fasting. Don't turn away. Don't say, God, your ways are too alien. I just am done here. And submit to Him, because His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. He's holy and high above us, and we have to trust Him rather than defy Him. All right, church, I love you very much, and I look forward to talking to you soon again.